Hello, everybody. My name is Rufino Garcia, and I am the CEO of Tend2Need.
My name is Joseph Quiones, the CMO of Tend2Need.
My name is Francisco. I'm the CFO of Tend2Need.
And the problem that most parents are facing right now is wanting to be in two places at the exact same time. Like wanting to take care of the responsibilities and also wanting to be there for the kids. And also wanting to know if their kids are in the right hands of others. And some problems that babysitters are facing is want to be provided with a planner in which they can look back to and have a chat or have a way to communicate with the parents reliably. And that's where we come in. Tend2Need is an online babysitting platform in which we want to provide proper communication between the babysitter and parent. We're also going to be including a planner in which parents can assign multiple tasks to babysitters so they can do throughout the day, and also include a chat feature in which parents can communicate with the babysitter so they won't miss out anything important going on in the kids' lives.
The planner includes notable details of what you should be doing with the child throughout the day. So essentially things like set tasks to do with the child throughout the day, and it is customizable and it's also be able to copy and paste. So for example, you might have Janelle one day and you'll have the same schedule as you usually do, but you might have Todd next week, so you have the same schedule and be able to duplicate that and use the same schedule. Notable details are what to do in case of medical emergencies, what rooms to not go into. We find that parents also oftentimes value their privacy and don't want you to go into certain rooms. Another thing to know is allergies, so you don't want your kids to be able to be affected by the food there. Notable details as well are things such as what to do in case of behavioral issues. We find that children often have objects or certain techniques they reply better to, so that is a noble detail we want to take into consideration. Another thing is a food plan. You want to be able to know, you want your child to have their dietary needs met.
And coming back to the chat feature, here are some examples of how our chat is going to look like. On the left side, you have a babysitter and the parent communicating with each other. And on the right side, you have a profile of the babysitter, their name, about me, and mobile phone number.
Our search system. We want our search system to be thorough. We want our search system to be thorough. We want you to feel like you're almost there yourself. So things like your native language. You want your child to be able to communicate with your babysitter. Another thing to know is that we want you to be able to see whether or not your babysitter has transportation. So to get there back. Another thing to note is location, new posts, the price range, the available hours of the babysitter, things like that.
And for our customer segment, the people that we want to target are parents in need of childcare services and babysitters needing a job. Parents needing childcare services is because we want to provide them with babysitters, and babysitters needing a job because we can give them a job on this online platform. And these are two of our ads that we're going to be showing in our ad campaign. On the left side, we have our parent. On the left side, we have a babysitting ad, our babysitter ad, and on the right side, we have a parent ad. And when either parent or babysitter clicks on one of the ads, it's going to take them to a landing page. It's going to take it to our landing page in which they go through and click either their parent or babysitter, and which is going to take them to a cognitive form so they can sign up.
We tend to market more on Facebook because it's a parent-oriented app. We want to market to local Fresno area as well as parent groups in that area. I know that my family and my parents specifically are more on Facebook and use groups in that area. So you want to be able to interview them and get their real life experiences with babysitters and be able to know what price range they're usually going for.
And here's a mock-up of how our website is going to be set up at the beginning, and we're going to be making further arrangements in the future.
So for our EVP, we decided to compare ourselves to one of our biggest competitors, which is Care.com. And Care.com has different types of needs for care, which are senior care or pet care. They have a pet they have a chat feature which you do require a membership, which membership is about $37 a month. Thus, we do include a planner. We only do childcare. We do have a customizable planner, and we charge $18 per month. And what's our benefits? We will introduce it to the next slide. So, our three competitors that we have, which we've already introduced one of our first ones, which is Care.com with around 32 million customers. Second competitor being Sitter City, around 3 million customers. And our third competitor being Urban Sitter with around 1 million customers. So for our market size, we decided to use TAM, which our TAM is our total addressable market, which is what our potential profits could be if we included everything. So we researched on how many parents use child services, and we see that 6.8 million parents use the services. And potentially, if we make a profit out of this, it could be $1.3 billion in profits. And for our SAM, which was our market on that we're targeting in one state, which is going to be California. And we researched on how much people use child services there too. They know we're 700,000 plus use child services. And to make a profit out of that, our potential profits could be $30,000. So financials, we have our costs here, our costs that are expected, our COGS, and SG&As. So some of the costs that are expected are website domain creation and app development. COGS, which is our cost of goods, we have none since we are a digital platform, and SG&As are legal fees, insurance, ad, bug fixes, and the total cost of it would be around $10,000. And to reach our $30,000 goal in the first year, we would have to sell around 1,600 units. So with our premium and non-premium, for $18 a month, our premium will have no service fees, no ads, chat action, planner, and star ratings. And for the free option, you will have service fee, ads, the chat option, and star ratings. So for our key metrics to define how we are successful is that we will check how many people visit our website by going over Google Analytics and the app stores to see what people are also reading. And so our success would probably be around the sign-up rate of 50% compared to the amount of users who clicked on the ad.
The future of Tend2Need. We want at least 4 new users a day to meet our financial goal. We also want to interview at least 50 people about their experiences with babysitters, what problems they've faced, and things like what their hourly rate they'd be paying for a babysitter. And everything we're working on at the moment is a new slogan as well as a new logo. We want our new logo to be able to communicate a friendly, happy experience. Right now, our logo is more of a grayish color, and right now we're going for more pastel, yellow, or green, orange type colors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love the digital planner. I think that's really cool. You even pointed out things that I don't normally even ask about when I have a babysitter come to my house, and I'm like, hey, I probably should be asking about that. So yeah, great job on that. How did you guys come up with the items that were on the digital planner?
I asked my parents about experiences they've had with babysitters when I was younger and what problems they actually face. So I know that a lot of people respect their privacy and they want their privacy respected.
Yeah.
So things like not going into rooms is a huge factor for them because they don't. Who wants a stranger in their house going through this?
Yeah, no, that's great. I actually, one of the questions I had, and you answered it with your last slide, was if you've interviewed anyone who, potential customers. Have you interviewed parents and what their experiences have been, and then also babysitters and kind of like what both of your customers are looking for and those pain points that you're going to address that care.com, you know, doesn't address. So that's a really good plan for you when you said you're going to interview 50 people. That's great. I think your intro is lacking. So you guys have a good product, service, but I think that your intro was very, I don't know, just kind of like, here's who we are. Whereas like, I would like to see, you know, either you telling a story or really emphasizing these pain points that parents and babysitters are having and how you Tend2Need is gonna come in and solve that. So I would start with something like that, really strong, so that you keep my attention. Because the beginning was just very kind of, I like to say vanilla, like it's just very bland.
A good intro hook really punches above its
Yeah.
weight limit to getting our attentions and getting us focused on what the problem is going on, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like had you, you know, come in with a story or a pain point, as a mom and someone who uses babysitters, I would have been like, oh yeah, let me pay attention more. This is, I'm that person that you're talking about. So just think about that and how you can change it. Let's see. I love the filters too in your search, the search system, how you highlighted those filters. Those are really, really good. And it really helps like the parent weed through certain, just weed through it so that it makes it quicker and more efficient, right? So if I have a child who has special needs, I love that you have that there, because then I'm not going through 100 people asking each one of them, hey, can you do special needs? Hey, can you do special needs? So that's really good. Your video was pretty quick. Was it your MVP video? Can you go back to it?
Hey, Rafina, while you're over there, can you actually plug up the clicker into your, that way you don't have to keep going back and forth? Yeah, plug it into your laptop so you don't have to keep going back and forth like you're doing. Yeah.
Technology.
Yeah, it was driving me nuts where you keep doing that.
He didn't know.
I know. We always are doing this. Now left and right, and that'll take you back and forth.
So if you notice in your video, your text is cut off. Right there. See, so, do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
The baby set.
It's like
Baby
this,
side.
so I was kind of like trying to figure out how to read it. Cause parent or it's not even like on the same line.
Yeah.
So I would fix that.
It looks like in the top left, you guys are in class.
Oh yeah, I just noticed that.
It's you kind of your eyes
How
are
did I not see that?
elsewhere, but yeah, that shot right there could
Yes.
probably be cleaned up a good
Yes.
amount.
Yeah, I would definitely work on the video. And I wasn't sure, so tell me, where are you gonna have this video, or how are you gonna use it? I'm just confused on where it's going.
The video is more of an example of how people get to our website and get to our Cognito form or
So will
sign
it
up
be like a
form.
social media post or what?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. And then there was one more other thing. This is super little, but I don't know why spelling bothers me so much. On your market share slide. Oh no, I'm sorry. That was something different. Where's it at? Chat feature. The chat feature slide. So there's some spelling right there where it says just conforming. It should be just confirming.
Oh, sorry.
So the I makes a difference. It's a different word. So fix that. And then your market share slide where you have your TAM, SAM, and all that.
Well,
One back.
Uh, that one. Okay, so I was a little bit confused because in your, what is this called? My words are not working today. Graphic, you have TAM and then SAM and then, what's that one?
Servicing addressable market.
That's SAM. What's the O? I haven't seen that. Everyone else has been using MS, so that's why I don't know what that. What is SOM?
It's market share.
It's the size of market, or we use MS in glass market share.
Okay, that's why I was confused because I've been seeing MS, so the SOM threw me off a little bit.
Oh, size of
Anyway,
market.
your graphic has TAM and then SAM, but then your text is
Yeah.
SAM and then TAM. right? It's reversed. So you need to fix that. Flip it, because when I was reading it, I was like, wait, what? And then yeah, just flip that around. But that's all.
Thank you. I got a couple things. We're dealing with children, correct?
Yes.
Who's doing the background checks?
Currently, we are not sure at the moment.
That's important.
Yeah.
Because, and here's where I maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, I missed it. So you're advertising towards just the parents, correct?
No, we're trying to.
Both.
Yeah, we're trying to hit both.
Okay.
Many parents.
So both the potential babysitter and the parents are paying $18 per month.
No, the parent is paying $18 a month. So say if your parent is trying to buy a babysitter, or certain, hire a babysitter, we'll have a service fee onto it. So
Okay.
it's cheaper to get an $18 a month option if you're going to be buying the service multiple times a day or multiple weeks.
Because if you charge the babysitter just like a headhunter does, right? You charge the babysitter a fee, you could increase your revenue.
Yeah.
And not only that, you also say, hey, we do the background checks for $18 a month. We also help you market yourself, because you're leaving out a huge market share. The babysitter needs a headhunter, needs you to connect to it's multiple ways here you can make money. The parent's looking for a babysitter and needs to connect to the babysitter, but doesn't trust because there's no background check. Hey, we provide the background check for a fee. There you go. You got another revenue stream. You ever thought about that? Because I'm not going to trust anyone, especially on social media, to watch my kids I don't know or a reference. I know the star system is pretty good, but we're dealing with my kid. Stars don't mean anything. I need to talk to you. I know that you do those services, but have you been convicted of a felony? Have you been convicted of anything that could make me question you taking care of my kid and letting you in my house? That's the number one concern, and also liability of the company. What's your liability?
Not sure.
Are you, hey, we're just here to connect people, we have nothing to do with after this, because like I said, the background checks could protect you from a liability standpoint, because you're connecting people with kids and parents and babysitters you don't know. That's my only concern.
Okay.
Is there anything to comment about that?
I do think your idea of using the actual background check as a payment from the babysitter itself would be a good idea.
Well, they would have to pay that. It has to be a requirement, because that's how I'm a parent. I still would feel a little on edge letting someone I didn't know based off of an app or to take care of my child without references or background check. For instance, you could link the app to other parents who they've babysitted and ask them how they're, that's, because there has to be confirmation that this babysitter is good. A star system doesn't work. We know that on Yelp you can put whatever you want. It could be true, it could be false, who knows if it's true. It could be someone having a bad day and just rate bad star. I want to talk to other parents about the babysitter's performance and was he or she good, right? Also, you said there were no cost.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
That's impossible. What about server fees? What about website design? What about insurance? What about ongoing management of the website? What about hiring lawyers because you're dealing with children? Background checks. I mean, merchant fees.
Can you guys go to that slide? I think they spoke to it. There was no physical cost, but they had costs for other things.
Yeah,
It wasn't
no
cost-
cost.
Yeah, they had costs for other things.
Okay, legal fees,
Yeah.
insurance. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just heard someone said none. There's no.
No. 'cause
Yeah,
there was
right
a
there,
cog.
cogs, it says none. So wouldn't
Yeah.
those be your cogs though? Your website domain,
Yeah.
your website creation, app
I wrote it down.
development?
Can you guys tell them
Right?
what COG stands for again?
Yeah.
They're not selling it.
A physical thing. I think that's what they're getting at.
Service.
It's a service,
Yeah.
but
I don't know. I wouldn't put no cogs.
yeah, that's. Maybe I'm wrong, but I would want to see how much. So, I want to see what those fees could possibly cost. I don't know. I mean, someone just told me today that it was $7,000 to insure a bar. A month. I'm not going to say who, but someone told me insurance was $7,000 to insure a bar for a month. It blows my mind. So I need to know what those costs are. I need to know what the insurance, possibly to call someone, hey, what would be a quote to have us, our liability insurance for something like this? Just put it on there. You can call any insurance agent. They'd probably give you a range, but you put it on there. I want to know how much it would cost for website development, front and back end, and management. I want to know, the legal fees. What are the potential legal fees? Background check fees. I want to know if you do have background checks, how much do they cost? What other securities are you going to provide? That all costs money. It just does. So, other than that, I thought it was a great job on the PowerPoint layout. It's a great idea to have digital planners for babysitters and knowing what they can do and what they won't do, because some won't change diapers. Just that's how it is. And the allergies things is great to list. But yeah, other than that, I think it's a good idea. It's just I need to know that if someone's taking care of my children, what are you doing to ensure that they're the right person? They have no prior, record of child abuse or stealing. I need to know that.
CPR certification.
CPR certification. Yep. That's it for me.
Okay. Yeah, and to touch on what Kent was saying about the background checks, what you might be able to find is that you could find a third-party vendor who could do that for you. And I don't know your business, but theoretically you could also put the cost of the background check done by your certified third-party vendor. You could put that cost not on yourselves, but on the babysitters themselves. If they want to come in, they have to pay whatever X amount of dollars. I know that certain jobs do that. I think that there was a unified school district that I was working at for a little bit that made me pay for my own background check, which was only $90. So take that, know that you do have options with that, but that would be really good of getting not only your credibility out there, but the credibility of your, effectively your workers, but not really, right? Because it's all gig. So there's that. I'm wondering what other scheduling apps are out there that your planner does better or worse on. I don't know, have you guys looked at other scheduling software out there?
Not at the moment.
Okay, so you might be able to see their functionality. I know from my business, scheduling is a really critical part of our job. So there are other solutions out there, and you might be finding how you can make your own planner a little bit better too. Just because there are some nuances that you'll find just by looking around and just gleaming some info that way. I will say for your ads, not necessarily the showing the landing page one, but if you can go to that one ad slide, I believe that, not this one right here. I think that the one on the left is more compelling than the one on the right, but there's not much consistency between the two, right? You have your logo on this one, no logo on that one. You want to change the logo, which I think is a good idea. But making things a little bit more consistent, I think would go a long way. Even if it was just the same colors, that could go pretty far. But still using similar ideas and icons and images. Why is there no stork over here? We have yellow birds flying, no storks, right? So just something like that to keep in mind. Earlier on, you said that care.com charges $37, but yours is $18. And I have a few issues with this. Why are they 37 and you're only 18? What competitive advantage do they gain from charging more than you guys? And what do you gain by being substantially less than them? So why do they charge 37 but you guys can get away with only 18? And why shouldn't you also charge 37 for as equally good service?
I think it's because just we have more other stuff that we can provide than Care.com does. Care.com does have other care. They have senior care, pet care, and like other different types.
Right, but if I log on to care.com and I only want animal care, I don't have a senior living at my home, I'm not going to use that feature. I'm still going to pay $37, right? So you guys can still use that. I'm just using their service for one thing. Even though you guys only do one thing, you do it the best. So you can charge for the best, right? Just something to consider that you might be able to increase that depending on the value proposition. And Christina, how much does a babysitter cost for like a night?
It depends, but it can be,
kids, all kinds of stuff.
I don't know, $15 to $20 an hour.
An hour, right? But yours is only 18. So if you are really only just connecting the parties, that makes sense. But financially, if you're getting a babysitter out for $18 a month only, that seems a bit wild to me. If it's 15 to 20 an hour, right? So it's not exactly clear from my perspective as a judge. I'm sure that you guys do have that understanding, but it's not really shown in this PowerPoint what that price point does. Let's see. So you said, and I will say that this kind of got addressed later on, but out of 6.38 million users, how are you going to go 2% annually when you have that much? And now I realize that it's the TAM, not the SAM. But it's because of that, it made me misconstrue what you guys were saying just based on the PowerPoint itself, right? Let's see. Yeah, your conversion rate is pretty high. I think expecting 15% conversion rate is going to be pretty outstanding if you guys can land that. So for my business, we have a 5% conversion rate. And I'll tell you what, that is really good because it used to be a 3%, but we're gradually increasing it over time and it's making us a lot more profitable. But just know that if you're aiming for 15%, you're probably going to fall a little shy of that, right?
We do 1%.
Yeah.
1% would be
Yeah.
solid. That would be awesome if you guys could do 1%.
Not to discourage you, though.
Not to discourage you, no. It's just the numbers game, and for us, we have people that go onto the website just wanting to get more information. Maybe they don't want to buy anything, but they just want to learn more, right? We have blogs set up so where we get other traffic from other sources to look at it, who they have zero intention of buying, but the data still tracks them hopping on, right? So knowing what that number is for you is good, but I don't think it's going to be 15%.
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing I want you guys to look at really quick is, see how your logo, you have tend to need and the first letter is capitalized for each word, right? So I can read that and say tend to need, that's what it says. Now go to your MVP, the slide.
Oh,
No, one more. The one that you were pointing at, it was like your landing page.
Was it the
No.
video?
No, the one that you were just talking about.
advertising?
Yeah, right there.
Oh.
Okay, so see how the bottom one says tend to need and it's all the same letter? When I first read that, I was like 10 tone, like I couldn't differentiate between the words.
Yep, I agree.
Right?
Yep.
So I would change the font on that for sure.
Or at least the spacing on it?
Yeah, either put a space between the three words or change the
A
font
more
to
readable
match, like down there where there's a distinction between a capital and a lowercase so that you can actually read the three words.
I have written down 10, the number 2, need.
I have it, yeah, I have the
I have-
10-2 need on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, me too.
Which would be in,
Yeah, I do too.
I think the number 2 is mean you're connecting two parties.
Yeah.
I like
You
the
are.
emphasis.
Because you are connecting two parties, right? Why not use the number 2? 10 to need. Like, you both need you need a job, I need someone to babysit my kids. We do that. Hopefully, right?
So I do have one more, and it's the layout of your presentation itself. I wanted to know what your competitors were before you were able to get around there. Like you were telling me more about what your product does and how it does things great, but I almost wish that I would have known what the competitors are lacking in earlier on, so that way I can compare what great stuff you guys are doing compared to your competitors immediately.
Can you go to the slide where you show who the officers are in the company? Okay, so I missed it. Okay. All right. I would say take some new photos, everybody. But that's good. Okay, so I missed that. Your ads, I think, since we're already there, in your ads, go back to those for me, please. So I think your ads, this one really doesn't, there should be some sort of phrase in here that talks about, since this is 2 babysitters, start making money today. Do you need, I think there needs to be some wording in there where it should be much more powerful, that you're reaching out to babysitters. We need more babysitters. Something where you really call out to babysitters.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm just going to touch on that real quick, but you effectively would now need 2 different types of ads, one to attract customers and one...
Yeah, that's what he said.
And
the one on the left is to babysitters.
Oh, that one is directly for babysitters, and that one
that's
is...
to parents.
Got it.
Right, so this one, they hit on it. Parents can relax. They speak straight to parents, right? Parents, you can relax. Babysitters, you don't really speak to them directly. So they know that this is for them. I mean, it does say it's a babysitting platform, but you specifically want babysitters. You need babysitters. So I think you should speak to that, and of course, everything they said about getting the logos on both. Go back a couple slides. Go to the planner. So I think the planner. Now the next slide.
Left side or?
No, the next slide. Planner, then the app, then the next slide. This thing, it's all disconnected. I would like to see what this looks like in the app, what the planner looks like in the app. If what you're selling us is an app, and then you show us all this random stuff, you should really show us a mock-up of it in the app. What does it look like? I know you haven't built it yet, but at least if you're going to mock up the one thing, go back now, one slide. If you're going to mock this up, go hard, go all the way. Mock up what the planner looks like and like the search criteria is going to look like in your mind. And I've said this to other teams too. Even if you were to do the pencil sketch and put that up here, this is what we mocked up in pencil. Even if you had to do that, so we can wrap our brains around the solution. You can show us all the stuff you want, TAM, SAM. You can show us all of that stuff. But if we can't see the solution and what that looks like, then you're not really showing us anything. It's just still an idea in your head. Like even here, I don't even see in the top or in the bottom, I don't see a footer. I don't see Tend2Need logo. I don't know that this is you. So you really want to mock this up like it looks like an app. You have plenty of apps on your phones. Bust some open and see how they lay theirs out, so you can see how yours should look too. It's all just throwing random stuff at us, but show us how it all looks. Go to the TAM SAM really quickly. This lost me as well. I think your TAM SAM SOM that should be on the right side. I didn't know which one was which. So actually because some other teams did that too. They put the TAM SAM and SOM on the right side so I could see what those numbers were. I think they addressed some of the issues with the video. I think overall, I like the concept and idea. Go back one slide because I can't remember. Oh, so this slide and the one before it. Go to the slide before this one. Can you? In my mind, I think I want both of these slides on one slide. I think I want to see them on one slide because here you kind of list the criteria of just one competitor, UVP. But go to the next slide. I mean, you really could put that information here too, and just do it all in one slide because you kind of start off with one and then but wait, there's more, and then you show us more when you could just show them all in one slide. That's my recommendation, but talk to Mr. Mason about that, see if that makes sense to me, but I think they could all be listed in one slide. I think you guys do pretty good today when you're pitching and presentation. Some of your volumes could be a little bit louder. Some of you're just talking like this. You're like, well, on the next slide, I think this one is, well, we're gonna sell some stuff. And I hope you're noticing that when we talk to you, even though you're right there, all of us are projecting our voices to you. Or some of you guys are just talking to us like this. Can you go to the next slide? You're just talking like, and so just really just punch it up a little bit. There were a couple more things, but I think I'll address those in this. Other than that, I think in general, it's a good idea, some things to address. The idea is potentially a good idea. So yeah, I'm glad you guys started with something like this. You're solving a problem. And Ms. Rodriguez, you did really good saying, well, solve the problem, tell the story in the beginning.
All right, thank you.